Second, we'll go ahead and introduce our keynote speaker. So Asia, would you come to the front?
Okay. Carl Bernard Mack was born in Jackson, Mississippi. He's a graduate and distinguished engineering fellow of Mississippi State University, where he received a Bachelor of Science degree in mechanical engineering. On May 8, 2010, he was awarded an honorary Doctor of Science degree by Clarkson University. On March 1, 2005, Mack was named as the 4th Executive Director of the National Society of Black Engineers. In each of his first 5 years, he aided in setting records for membership. Additionally, he worked to increase NSBE's financial resources, expand the organization's cash reserves, build NSBE's top-level sponsorship to record levels, and strengthen NSBE's IT infrastructure, among other highlights. In the summer of 2007, Mack founded NSBE's Summer Engineering Experience for Kids, or SEEK, Academy, which now serves students in Washington, D.C. and Columbus, Ohio, with plans to expand to Oakland, California, and Chicago, Illinois. He has made appearances on CNN's Lou Dobbs Tonight show and ABC's Good Morning America, and received recognition in Ebony magazine as one of the top 150 black engineers in America. In July 2009, Mack was presented with the National Naval Officers Association's top honor for work in the field of diversity, the Captain Charles L. Tompkins Award. In July 2010, Mack spearheaded the awarding of scholarships to 29 St. Lucian students to attend the Illinois Institute of Technology. Before joining NSBE, Mack worked as an engineer with Metro and coordinated the King County's award-winning Minority Engineering Internship Program. He served as the president of Seattle-King County branch of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP, while he was there, the branch won the 2004 Class 1A Thalheimer Award. He also was listed as one of the top 25 most influential people in the greater Seattle area. Upon his departure from the greater Seattle area, both the City of Seattle and the King County government named February 12, 2005 as Carl B. Mack Day. Mack is a lifetime member of NSBE and a lifetime member of NAACP. Please join me in welcoming our speaker for the evening, Dr. Carl B. Mack.
Sister Harris, should you ever have to introduce me again, please take the micro version of my bio. Far too long. First of all, thank you all for coming out. Brother Scott, thank you so much for the invitation. Mr. President, Vice President, thank you. Dr. Mackey, my very good friend, love you. As a matter of fact, I didn't know Dr. Mackey was going to be here until yesterday when I finally looked at my itinerary, and I figured, you know, it was like my birthday or something, and Derek was just trying to have a boys out kind of party. So Doc told me the same thing, but absolutely love that brother. Love both of these brothers. Dr. McAfee, I should say to you all, it was interesting. It was almost kind of a lukewarm kind of appreciation for Dr. McAfee, right? When in fact, to me, Ebony magazine, the best periodicals of Black America should feature this family. What he and his family have done, it does not, this is what we in this fight for. If all of Black America, hell, if all of America was represented the way the McAfee family is represented, we wouldn't have no problems. Incarceration rates wouldn't be nowhere where they are. But I guarantee you, if any artists from the entertainment community that you all had any semblance of had been here before, I guarantee you the applause, the ovation, the excitement would have been far, far greater. But it ain't never too late for us to show our true love and appreciation for a family, not just a man, but a family of academic excellence, because it is far too long for A&E in our community to mean athletics and entertainment when this family clearly represents academic excellence. So, Dr. McAfee, to you and your whole family, God damn it, that's right. That's much better. Proud of you too. Much better, University of Michigan. Thank you. I feel better now. I swear to you, I feel better, Doc. I need to bring it up a little bit? Okay, good. All right, thank you. Listen, the theme tonight, and I need to read this, from surviving to thriving, a college-wide forum and examine the success of academic excellence. Just the mere fact that we're trying to go from surviving to thriving says that there's a degree of movement. And whenever you think about movement, you got to figure that's transition. So the question is, should we want a transition? That is the question I think all of us have to ask. Is transition good? Is change good? To move from one state to another, is that a good thing? I would mandate, society mandates, that you must transition. As humans, if humans never transition, where would we be? We'd still be in caves. We would still be in caves. If black folk did not transition, well, if Americans of African descent did not transition, where would we be? We'd still be in slavery. I tell you that transition is a good thing. Now, our organization, NSBE, if NSBE did not transition from 1975 to today, instead of there being 35,776 members, we would only have 6 members. So the answer is yes. I don't know anything in this country, for that matter of fact, I don't know anything in the world that can just stay still, do not move, don't transition at all, and survive. Nothing. So you must be willing to transition. This is a personal thing. Now, inside of your own life, at this point in your life, you got to ask yourself if you want to transition. Are there things about you that you should be ready to move on from? The good book says, when I was a child, I what? I spoke as a child, I acted as a child. Now it's time to do what? Say it again. It's time to put away childish things. That's talking about transition. Transition is a good thing. Now, if you're going to transition, if you're agreeing that you're going to move, I contend that for academic excellence, if we're going to talk about academic excellence, the other word, the other T word that I want you to keep in mind is transformation. Now, what is transformation? That means you're going to change into something. But if we're going to change into something, I would contend that first we ought to take a look at who we are right now, because we might be all we want to be. If I was the McAfee family, don't talk to me about transforming. I don't want to move. I likes that position. So ain't no need in transforming. But I don't contend that all of who we are is what we want to be. So the question is, who are we? Who are we as the National Society of Black Engineers? Who are we as African-American students in this country? Who are we as black folks in this country? So we said we first must understand who we are. Well, let me tell you who we are. And Doc, you can also help me with a couple of these stats. Who are we as black folks in America? We are a race of people today who has arguably more resources than any other group of people of color in the world, or certainly any other black folks in the world of African descent. Yet, damn near 50% of our children cannot graduate high school. That's who we are. We are a group of people in the field of engineering who, when you look at every ABET accredited college in this country, and how many ABET accredited colleges are there in America? All right, 330 something. If indeed that's the number, how many blacks receive undergraduate degrees in this country? In 07-08, let me tell you exactly how many it was. In 07-08, there were 3,252 black students who received undergraduate degrees. Oh yeah, that's worth putting your chest out and being real proud about. That's who we are. But yet a year later, we dropped 8% from that. So that the following year, only 3,078 black students received undergraduate degrees in engineering. That's who we are right now. Are we thriving? I contend not. Are we surviving? Just barely. Think about it. Of all the black students that go to colleges and universities all across this country and declare an intent to go into the fields of engineering, we are a group, we are a society who loses 70% of our young folks from the time they go into the freshman, 4 to 6 years later. 3,000. Just barely 3,000. Anybody in this room tells me that we ought to keep, we should not transform from those type of statistics. Anybody in the room who's in favor of it? Anybody in the room in favor of a transformation? I need you to be engaged because, look, I'm not here to give you some feel-good speech. I'm here to kick your ass so that we can do something different. And believe me, given the status of where we are as a people in this country, I am not here to be politically correct with any of you. Please understand that. See, I heard a conversation here with Amber and Brianna. Beautiful conversation. Because, and Amber, I'm not sure that I completely heard it. But see, somewhere they was talking about some exams and how the exam was. And see, that's the kind of conversation we need to have. That's the type of transformation. I have gone to NSBE meeting after NSBE meeting after NSBE meeting in this country. As a matter of fact, Mr. President, or anybody for that matter, please describe to me a perfect NSBE meeting, because now I want to talk about the transformation. What should we look like? As a student and as a chapter. As a student, let me tell you what the transformation is. You need to be asking yourself, and you should have already transitioned into this mindset. Why did I come to the University of Michigan? And the president certainly asked that question. Why did you come here? Why did you come here, period? Did you come here looking for love? If you did, that's why we got 70%. See? Did you come here so you can go to every frat party and every sorority party? If you did, that's why you got that 70%. Did you come here so that you can participate in every damn activity possible? And you got to go to every football game, every basketball game, every track meet, hockey meet, everything. If you did, that's why we got the 70%. Did you come here to get an engineering degree? And if you did, understand this about engineering. If we were to personify her, she's a jealous little sister. She don't tolerate football and basketball and frat parties. She absolutely will not deal with that. She wants your full, undivided attention. She absolutely has to have it. So as a student, you must get your mind right. You got to recondition, relearn, rethink, do it, recommit. Because this is simply, to me, about desire and commitment more than it is anything else. If you are a chapter and you're trying to go through a transformation, listen to me. Describe to me anybody the perfect NSBE meeting. Oh, starts on time. That's a universal answer. Everybody that I go to, they tell me starts on time. What's another good one? What do you have to have a perfect NSBE meeting? Got to have full people, well attended. What else? Got to have a good agenda. President got to have a nice PowerPoint presentation. You got to know what activities you're going to be engaged in. You got to go out and do fundraising, so you go to the FRC and, oh, please, let us not forget. We got to get that chant down. What region we in? How long? Yeah, see, got to get that part. And I contend it is time for a paradigm shift. Because while we doing all those things, the meeting starting on time, they well attended, full solid, forever. We forever failing. Cut that out. It is time for a paradigm shift. A perfect NSBE meeting? Let me tell you what it looks like. There is a room full of folks in there. Oh, and by the way, how often does this perfect NSBE meeting meet? Once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, once a semester? How often does the perfect NSBE meeting? Because I can't have us in there wasting time. How often? How often? Once a week. Once a week is how often the perfect NSBE meeting. No, the transform, that transition NSBE meeting, that perfect meeting that I go to, I want you to see this. When you walk in the room, it is just a room full of folks who look like you, make you feel good. You okay. When you walk in there, there's a group over there, because I didn't tell you the answer to why the retention rate is where it is. There's 3 mystical, magical words that would describe why our retention rate is at 70%. Shall I give them to you? Chemistry, calculus, and physics. See, once chemistry whoops up on you, and then calculus kind of slaps you around, and physics kind of gives you that, by that time, you're thinking to yourself, I'm about to drop these classes. And see, if you drop 3 classes, you ain't caring but, what, 6 hours? So then you start thinking, what's the next question? Is engineering? and then you go to business, right? That's the transition, Doc. Chemistry, calculus, and physics. Those are the 3 courses that are providing the biggest answers to why our retention rate is where it is. Because believe me, you don't have 70% dropout once you become a junior. Once you become a junior, you see the promised land. You're on your way. It is when those freshmen first come in.